Knock knock. Knock knock. Anyone? Anyone here? Bing bong, bing bong. Hello? Is there... Where's the shopkeeper? Oh, he's not here? No, that's too bad. But there is something we need to do. Guys, welcome back to another episode here on my Minecraft single player survival world. As you see, we've got some bookshelves down here in my bookstore. We've actually done quite a few intros at this place, but now it's the first time where the downstairs is basically finished. Just gonna add maybe a couple of lights or flower pots on top of these. These what do you call them, bookshelves. I almost forgot the name there. Well, I actually did. And we've also added some lights underneath some of these carpets. Just a cheap alternative, lanterns and torches, because thankfully the smoke doesn't go through the carpet. So you see the smoke is going through up there, and then the smoke blocks it. You see here, the smoke is blocking it, which is really great. And if you go upstairs, still a work in progress, but you see we've added a lot of bookshelves. In fact, in the end of the last episode, when I destroyed that library, we got way more than this. Actually, we've still got another 4 stacks of books left, and I actually found another library on the way out of that stronghold, so we can go destroy that one later on when I need to. Of course, I'll do that in between episodes. What I've also started doing is continuing to work on this build. I've only done a very short bit of work on here, but we're going to continue work on that right now, I think. So, how about we get into a good time lapse? And if you guys didn't already know, this is going to be a bakery. This is going to be holding the people which work at the bakery. Also, we got like a window kind of design here. I'm not too sure what that's supposed to be. We're going to have the cheese making over here, like the cheese and lettuce and the side parts for the food to be made over here. This building's actually not that nice looking, I have to say. It's not that nice looking. We're also going to make a dormer come out with a separate extended part of this building. Also, I'm thinking once we've done that, I just want to move on from this project. It's just like a really annoying project. This one is, even though it's like a big build, I actually like building these smaller ones. They're more, despite being less time consuming than this one. This one takes up more area, but honestly, I'm not too sure if I like it that much, because we're just wasting too much time on this. If we do it individually, I feel like we can do more. And I only want to do those for like the big part of the town, right? So maybe we might have one here where we can have a building here, like a tower here, just a plain tower like that one maybe, but way taller, and then like a building here, we have like a bridge in between, and then that'll be like the main entrance to this place. And we'll have some certain buildings which are like that, but mostly I love doing these small builds, right? And they're easier to upload and quicker to do, but we have to finish these big ones once we started, because, or we can tear them down, but this one seems to be going not too bad, so we should finish it. Oops. And hopefully it'll turn out great. I don't really like, by the way, if you guys are wondering why I don't like this build, it's because the pillars are very close to each other and I didn't really have much of a choice. I mean, on that top floor we can maybe change it up a bit. Yeah. Alright, we can put a pillar in the middle here and then take out those two. Who knows? So I'll quickly start work on this. I should stop probably fidgeting with this thing. I'll start work on this and I'll see you guys after the time lapse. Boop. everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed that time lapse. And you did quite a bit of building in there. We've done these three main builds, and we've finished them basically. We've added some bushes here on this tower where the workers for this bakery are gonna live, up here. Even though you can't really get to here from the main bakery, there's gonna be an entrance up there. The bakery isn't really the main part of the bakery where like the cooking is gonna happen. Which is this building. It's not really much I've changed to it. I just added some windows. That's only really what I needed to do to it. I've also added some hay back here where the bread for the bakery is gonna come from, or the hay bales. Also added this windows to this path here. I couldn't really add them on this side because it was too cramped and it would look too ugly, to be honest. And then over here, this main build, I've added this extrusion over here with a flower pot thing. I'm not too sure if I like the flower pot over here. If you guys don't like it, tell me, I can get rid of it. Honestly, it would look fine either way. And we we added these extrusion part things, whatever you like to call them, thingy majingies, to the back of this build, because on these long and width builds I like to add them because it adds a bit more depth into them. I've also not only worked on these three builds in one, I've also put in some work into these builds where you see before I didn't have these sorry, I thought I was going to step on this little place here, which I also did in the time lapse. It's going to be a little carrot field, a little carrot crop area, because we need to start adding some details because this place is about to get finished up. We need to add, like maybe it's, 8 more shops in this area, and then it'll probably be good. So that'll probably be in the next, 20 or so episodes. Will probably be finished in this episode, in this area, or maybe the next 10 episodes really. Anyway, so we've added this carrot patch here. We've been working on other builds by adding these fence gates to add more depth on them because I forgot to add them when I was making them before. So it's good that we're adding them now. And we've also got our llamas with new carpets. And honestly, I like this look more. Now, because we've been building a bit in this episode, well, I've been building a bit in this episode, I'm actually really in the building mood still. And I'm not too sure what I'm gonna build. Right now, I feel like building a place for these llamas on a shop, and maybe we will do that. Also, I want to get some horses. This llama's like, what are you saying? And we can do that, but I'm not too sure if we should do it. But I was thinking, once we're done with all the builds, we're gonna eventually have to do these details, and we're gonna have to do the terraforming back there. We can leave the terraforming a bit once we've done this area, and then we can come back to it if we really want to. I mean, like terraforming this with grey concrete powder and light grey concrete powder and andesite and all that kind of things, like a proper terraforming, and make it look really detailed. And put gold ore and diamond ore in there maybe at the bottom. But I want to maybe do some details because like little things like this, I want to put in some bushes like those. I want to put in some custom trees as well and little ponds because I feel like if I put in some more custom trees and farms and small things like that, we can get a sense of what this place will look like when it's more complete. Also, for a second, I thought there was no glass there. I couldn't really tell. So once you're done with this like overall area, and we don't have the places for the custom trees, it might not look as good. So we're gonna put in some of the custom trees now, or at least some of the big ones or small ones. Not, and we're gonna leave in some open spaces for. I think we should do 8 more shops in this area before it's completed, and we move on into the low income area, and then the high income area, and maybe a fort or a castle up there on this mountain. We're also gonna extend, by the way. Also, I should probably sleep. Okay, let's go to sleep.
So we're gonna add those things as well as those little details, as well as I want to fix up the back of this costly coffee place. I feel like it's too chunky or too big or just too ugly looking for me. So I want to fix this up. I want to make it smaller. I also want to put in like a big umbrella over this place. Like oops, should probably pick up. Let me just throw these things away. Oh no, here we go. I need to pick up this log, otherwise it's going to despawn. Yeah, I feel like this is too chunky, and I want to, make this way smaller, like just way smaller, like just a little back patio thing with a little, you know, umbrella kind of thing coming off the building onto this, and it will look much nicer, I think, because we don't want these places to look too bad, because I want to be able to feel comfortable with my shops, and if I don't like the look of it, I don't think I'll keep it, especially since in episode 6 the building which used to be where these 3 builds are, I tore down completely because I just did not like the look of it. So once we're done with the shops, we're gonna move on to that area where we're gonna build something for the llamas and the horses, and we'll also do like more path stuff. But and we're gonna like take the path there, and there's gonna be the docks area over there and the low income area where we're gonna have connected roofs, because in this area the buildings are kind of spread out from each other. Only these couple of back buildings here are kind of touching, and just only a couple buildings are touching. Like those ones are buildings are touching. The roofs are kind of like spread out. In this area where it's going to be low income, I've got an idea using hay bales for the roof because it's low income, of course. And the roofs are going to be like touching. It's going to be kind of like very high density, low income area where there's going to be lots of houses in a small area, and hopefully it will look good. There's also some decently sized buildings I'll put here, and it's going to slowly fade away from this kind of style. Like it's going to be slowly getting more dense, and then the buildings will not be two layered, but one layer is going to come down. It's going to be like middle class over here, and then it'll become low income class, whatever you would like to call it. Then we'll have the docks over here. We're gonna rip out this place, we're gonna terraform a lake over here, and it'll look nice. Which I hope it'll look nice. And but before we do that, of course, like I've been saying, we need to do the details. So let's crack on, shall we? And should we do another time lapse? Yeah, we should, because the video is getting a little long, and me building it on camera will make it even longer. So let's let's get on with another time lapse, shall we? Do some custom trees, bushes. We'll even continue this path. Maybe do some more of these things. Who knows? And we also need to fix up the back of this place. Anyway, I'll see you guys all after the time lapse to hopefully finish off the video. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that time lapse. What we did was we built this custom tree over here. It looks pretty nice, I have to say. I enjoyed building it, and it's pretty simple. If you want, actually, after this video is released, also I saw Creeper there before and he's gone missing. That scares me. Um, if you want, after this video, I can also post a tutorial on how to do custom trees, despite being new to terraforming, which if you didn't know, or I might have mentioned this already in the video, I've only started doing terraforming at the beginning of this Let's Play before, otherwise I'm completely new to it. So if you'd like some, you know, tutorials on terraforming or building, let me know in the comments down below because I can help you out, and hopefully you guys can learn how to do custom trees and terraforming as well. So what we did in the time lapse was do that big tree over here, which is quite nice. I have to say I enjoyed it. We've also added all the carrots here, quite a bit of carrots here. We've also got a little bit of potato there, but it looks pretty nice. This is a pretty nice little carrot patch. I'm gonna probably put a little bit more carrots here, just not too far away from the water. But it's actually kind of good because you can't really see water here, and there is water from the trough is feeding this. So it looks like maybe it could work like, you know, water drips from the trough, or whenever a horse drinks from it, like a bit of water spills out, and you know, waters these plants. But yeah, I enjoyed the spruce tree build. It's kind of taking up a bit of the road, but I like that. We have to have, you know, some things which are overgrown, and I like this kind of overgrown feel where it feels like it's kind of leaning, half of the tree is leaning over onto this part. So you have to kind of walk underneath the tree. It gives it more purpose. It kind of gives it shade as well. We also need to add more of these lampposts, but these lampposts over here, I feel like these should be like the side, alleyway lampposts. So they should be used only in like places like this where the dirt paths. So over here we'll have one of those lampposts. I feel like in the main section over here, I want to kind of use beacons, but beacons are very expensive. That's the only problem. And I just love how beacons are a little. If you look at the beacon block, really, it's a little blue orb in like a glass block, and it looks like kind of like a lamp. And if you in the Tudor times or in the medieval times, they had like those oil lamps in the street, and it kind of somewhat looks like that. It looks like this. If there's if there's a lantern with glass around it, like a little layer of glass around it, that would be perfect. We don't have that, but a beacon is quite close to that. So if we had something using beacons, I would wish to do that with the lamps in the main part of the road or in the high end of the roads over there in the high class over here. We'll use beacons, but we need to make a wither skeleton farm before we can get a lot of beacons. And if we're gonna do this automatically, we'll probably also need to go to the end doing the bedrock trick to kill the withers. We also did this. Now I kind of like this more than the previous thing at Coffee. I enjoy this little like shade here. Before I called it umbrella, I meant shade or whatever I called it, or tarp or whatever I called it. I meant shade. We have this chair back here. There's one chair. You know, we can also put maybe another one here or like another table here. But it's just gonna be like a small area where people could sit. The string is kind of in the way, but you know, you're gonna have to deal with that. And I wish you can actually like layer this carpet up like this so it kind of connects a bit higher, but you can't really do that too well in Minecraft. So this is the best option I could do. Also move the llamas down there because it wouldn't fit there. So this is also what I did, and I was thinking about adding another tree here, which is going to be like a broken tree, right? Like this stump would be snapped off and half of the tree was fallen down here and then the stump is there. But I came into a little problem. While I was doing this, I was checking on my villagers down underneath the terraforming, and I was trying to get some emeralds by trading iron, but for some reason, my villagers weren't trading. So I believe it was because I was switching between 1.16.2 and 1.16.1 for the time lapse and this kind of recording. So I've quickly finished that up, and I try and converted my time lapse, because now replay mod for 1.16.2 has just come out. Despite not being able to, despite OptiFabric 1.16.2 not being out, so we can't actually use Optifine on the replay mod, which right now I am on the replay mod setup, so I cannot zoom. That means until OptiFabric comes out for 1.16.2, I will not be able to zoom unless we're not doing a time lapse for the whole video, in which I'll probably be in Optifine 1.16.2. But that's gonna be the end of this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We did quite a bit of things today, and we have the tree. We have this big build behind me, which is the bakery build. Okay, let's walk around the street. The bakery build. Got some mushrooms here. Got some hay. Got one part of the bakery, the other part of the bakery, and we got the tower, of course. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.